Away from that, former Prime Minister and OODM leader Raila Odinga yesterday began his term offensive of the Mount Kenya region at a musicians' event hosted by royal media boss S.K Macharia and attended by over 50 elected leaders from the region. So, just what is the genesis of Odinga's love-hate relationship with the mountain, and how impactful are his latest forays into that region ahead of the 2022 polls? KTN senior political reporter Murimi Mwangi interrogates.
Famous for its near homogeneous voting patterns in general elections, the Mount Kenya region, home to the country's heads of state for 34 of the country's 58 years independence, is yet again on the national spotlight. The latest visitor to the region being former Prime Minister Raila Odinga.
Juzi nimesema kuna kitu kitatokea, wengine walikuwa haamini, lakini ninatoka hapa maneno mpya ya kuunganisha Kenya kwa sababu ya ile handshake inatoka hapa.
The question begs, will Odinga's newfound dalliance with the Mount Kenya political kingpin President Uhuru Kenyatta really neutralize his traditionally frosty relations with the Central Kenya voters? Without an outright heir apparent to President Kenyatta from the region, Mount Kenya has found itself in the middle of the scramble for top presidential hopefuls, increasingly being perceived as a critical swing vote in the 2022 presidential contest.
Maybe Raila had not made enough effort to go and change that perception and say, prove that he's a different person than what had been seen before. He has yet to do that. So maybe he can, maybe this was just a beginning, and maybe he will make a few other moves.
The negative perceived narrative is a phobia that has been created, again politically, by his adversaries. And some of his adversaries now today may be his close friends. They are the same who created the phobia.
In his succession game plan, Kenyatta had prioritized his recently nullified Building Bridges initiative as the blueprint to safeguard the region's economic interests in law, while placing heavier emphasis on population in political representation and sharing of resources. A strategy some analysts argue partly placed more emphasis on the mountain, vacating the country's top seat for another region.
Elected by the people.
Yet without guarantee of BBI revival at the Court of Appeal, the region has been split between youthful leaders backing Ruto's State House bid, a separate group behind the BBI push, but unsure on the marketability of Odinga's candidature on the mountain, and those behind local leaders eyeing the presidency, including National Assembly Speaker Justin Muturi, Muranga Governor Mwangi wa area, and recently Odinga longtime ally and political strategist Jimmy Wanjigi, a political rivalry that now threatens to break the region's traditionally homogeneous voting pattern.
What we make from these kind of developments today is that Mount Kenya is a game changer. Whoever convinces 35 to 40% of Mount Kenya votes is likely to become president of the Republic of Kenya.
Leaders should meet with the sole purpose of actually trying to interrogate what is going to be our position in the future of this country. And those kind of meetings should be held, not necessarily in the public balances.
Odinga's visit to Muranga comes only days after similar tours by other presidential hopefuls, ANC's Musalia Mudavadi and KANU chairman Gideon Moi. Murimi Mwangi, KTN News.
Well, let's talk about family matters now.